A mechanical prosthetic arm shifts its heavy brass gears, suddenly projecting a blinding, ethereal energy shield into the darkness. If you watch a show like Arcane or play a game like Guild Wars 2, you run into a specific kind of cognitive dissonance. You are watching characters cast ancient spells while standing next to a humming machine gun. To make sense of this, online communities build lexicons of hyper-specific subgenres. They debate whether a setting qualifies as science fantasy, MagiTech, or dungeon punk. They also invent labels for the mood of these worlds, using terms like Grimdark for bleak realism, or hope punk when characters fight for a better tomorrow. We tie ourselves in knots trying to categorize these stories because we carry a deep modern bias. We assume that strict scientific logic and mystical magic sit on opposite ends of human experience. But if you go back far enough in history, you will not find a dividing line between the laboratory and the occult. For thousands of years, spiritual magic and scientific experimentation were exactly the same thing. Look at this 18th century engraving of an alchemical laboratory. On top, physical tools, heavy bellows, furnaces, and precise glassware. But drop your eyes to the grid below. The same people boiling real liquids cataloged their work using abstract, coded occult symbols. To them, manipulating matter was spiritual. In this manuscript, a mountain of text bridges a grounded earthly landscape and the divine fiery sky above it. That unity cracked during the 18th century Enlightenment. Thinkers began to strip the mysticism out of their experiments, formally divorcing chemistry from alchemy. Yet the transition was messy. Isaac Newton spent more time writing about esoteric alchemy and hidden biblical codes than he did studying optics or physics. Eventually, the divorce was finalized. Science claimed the physical laboratory, and magic was relegated to myths and folklore. Today's speculative fiction writers are quietly working to stitch those two disciplines back together through obsessive world-building. This flowchart illustrates MagiTech. Magic is treated as a raw industrial resource, a crystal fed into a mechanical engine to generate physical output. This engine powers a city-wide grid, requiring you to track energy depletion, structural stress, and supply chains. Magic gets rigid limitations. Building a functional magical power grid is only half the problem. Creators also have to figure out how to make these fantastical societies feel authentic to the humans actually living in them. The tabletop strategy game Warhammer 40,000 provided a tonal blueprint for this in the 1980s, inspiring a subgenre that fans now call Grimdark. Grimdark throws out the honorable knights and destined heroes of traditional high fantasy. It replaces them with an amoral, pessimistic reality where power systems are corrupt, violence is visceral, and survival requires terrible choices. This growing modern trend of genre mixing gives fantastical concepts the heavy weight, consequence, and limitations of physical reality. It takes tremendous narrative force to take volatile magic and pour it into the rigid constraints of a heavy industrial mold. The intense forum debates over subgenres represent the active taxonomy of this new synthesis. These labels provide a technical vocabulary for a world where spells finally have serial numbers. The storytellers building these worlds are acting as literary alchemists. They are taking ancient, impossible wonder and splicing it together with strict mechanical logic. It is a completed cycle. Like the Ouroboros snake consuming its own tail, the magical and material are circling back into a single unified idea. We might have given up on transmuting physical lead into gold, but we have replaced it with a new project, transmuting pure fantasy into a tangibly, materially real experience.